Today we're following Tyr of House Kvitravn, a sturgeon taken as a prisoner of war by the Empire, and he has now been sold into gladiator battles to earn his freedom. And so let's start at the beginning of this adventure, and it all starts in the city of Rote. With no money to his name and literally starving, we enter the arena but find that there's no tournaments in Rote, and so we ask where the nearest tournament is, and it's all the way over in Ortisia or Fikayon. And so we make the long trek down to Ortisia, starving, losing our health on the way. And so we enter our first gladiator battle with a little disadvantage, less HP and no armor. See here. Oh, that was almost a death. There we go, nice. The winner of this battle would also get a Imperial decorated mail over stripped cloth, which is quite a good starter armor item, and hopefully that would be us. Nice. There we go. The positive of having no armor is that we were actually faster, and I used my speed to be able to build distance with my enemies and then get free hits in. Let's go! First tourney already won. We had won our first tournament and I was pretty happy because the armor was actually a lot better than I thought it would be, but we were also starving, so I was in a predicament. Do we sell the armor and buy food, or do we put on the armor and hope that we get some money along the way? I really do not want to sell that armor piece, but I don't think we have an option. I decided to equip the armor and just try our luck, so I went over to a nearby imperial city of Yalmaris. We found some looters on the way, but we walked right past them. I then talked to the tournament master where we figured out there was these practice fights that you can actually earn money from, but you had to be the last one standing. And so we jumped into this practice match, and hopefully we're the last one standing. So far, so good. We were lucky to start with javelins as our weapons, and I was able to find a lot of javelins around the arena as well, which gave us the advantage of dealing damage at range, and we didn't have to sacrifice our already low HP. We had killed the 8 opponents out of 25, and now there was only one guy left. So... oh, we did it! Oh! Jumping your fight was something to remember at last one standing. Your course went to top for. Do you want to give it another go? I did not want to give it another go because it actually took a long time to do this, but hey, we got the money. We were able to buy some food in a nearby village because it was a lot cheaper. We bought some hogs, I slaughtered them, and then sold back the hides for some money in return, because having varied foods will also give you a better morale. We then made our way down south to Zionica, where there was another tournament. And this time there was a helmet, a spiked kettle, over some padding, but our enemies were a lot better equipped this time. How many times do I have to hit you? No! We've been beaten at the last second, but hey, it was a good fight. Sadly, neither the helmet or the renown will go to us. But hey, we don't give up that easily, and so we go back up north to another part of a new empire, and we go to Fikayon. Imperial Nasal Spangen Helmet. Well, there's a tournament being held that also has a helmet as a reward. So eagerly wanting a helmet, of course, we jump in, and again, our enemies are a little bit better equipped. I fight my way all the way up to the last duel, and we're against an Imperial Militia Archer. And hopefully this time it would go a little bit better. Nice. The Militia Archer stood no chance, and we of course won our helmet. I then made my way further northeast, where we got to Mysia. And here there was quite an interesting reward. It was an Imperial headwear. The Crown of Basileus. Imperial headwear, Crown of Basileus. What? Oh, because there's 2 lords here. Having no clue what that is, of course I'm gonna fight for that, and hopefully we of course win it. Boom. Boom. The last 2 duels of that tournament was quite difficult, but hey, we did it. And we had won the Imperial Crown of Basileus. When we went to the shops, it only costed 2,600 and it wasn't even that good, but it was still a really cool find, and I'm happy that we at least got it. I then decided to use some of the money that we had to buy a horse, so our movement speed on the map would be a lot faster. And of course, we ended up being a lot faster, and I then went into another nearby tournament where we had to fight for our dear lives just to win. No, what? And again, we had super intense 1v1 duels. I really love these, but they're really intense. One wrong move and you're dead. And after a long duel, we were able to actually win the tournament, and we moved on to the next city of Lageta. But there was another tournament, but this time it was an Imperial Feathered Ridged Helmet with a metal crest for the victor, which is usually a rarer helmet, and it's also pretty good. Plus, it looks really cool. So I went to this tournament hoping that we would of course win it. Nice. And yet again, we were stuck in the middle of a long, intense 1v1. What's really scary when you're in one of these duels is that if you're in the Empire, for example, the swords that you're using are really good at stabbing. So if the enemy does one stab and he hits you in the throat or the face, you're most likely dead. Nice. Let's go, brother. Woo! Easy. Dude, that's such a cool helmet as well. Like, really. Oh, we're Clan Tier 1. Nice. Boom. Hell yeah. Let's sell that Lordly helmet. 7k. Easy. And we're Clan Tier 1. We had gotten to Clan Tier 1, we had won the helmet, and I decided to sell all of our gear and buy some new gear. And with this new gear, we of course look more the part, and we look more like a gladiator. Because half the effort of being a gladiator is of course winning the crowd. And with this style, I think we're doing pretty well. After this, I then jump into a bunch of tournaments to show them who's really boss. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Took long enough. Recruits. And after finishing a few tournaments, grinding with our new outfit, we have racked up a decent amount of money, and we're starting to rack up a decent amount of reputation as well. And so I decided to do yet another upgrade, and now we're looking even better. We got some better gauntlets for ourselves, we got a better skirt, and I also pick up a bronze shield and a short sword. And then we get back on the grind again because I have some plans. But before we can get those plans into fruition, we have to grind a little bit more. Boom! After winning a few tournaments, I finally decide there's something that we have to do. I go to inspect the troop tree of the gladiators, and these will be the gladiators that we will use to rule the world and take over Calradia. We have everything from our initiates of Tyros to Tyros Sagittari, Arcetor, Veteranus Sagittarius, and we have champion Sagittari. We also have our Probatio, Murmillo, we have our champions, and we also have our Traex, Retiarius, Plumbata, Gladiator, and Hoplomachus. And since we have come so far, and we're already halfway to clan tier 3, I decided it's time for us to make our clan something new. And so we changed our name to Legio Invicta. And we changed our banner to fit more of our gladiator status. We are no longer sturgeons, we truly represent the gladiators, and soon we're gonna give them all freedom. And so we also recruit our first initiates. We got our initiate, Artiro, and we talk to Salusios the broker, who has a quest for us. He needs us to help with a caravan ambush and kill some raiders. We can try this. We have our initiate gladiators. We can try. Oh yeah, it's cavalry. This might be really difficult, because I don't think our initiates has that good of a gear. And after recruiting a bunch of initiates, we of course help them out. Oh, look at our gladiators. Hell yeah. Just get in there, actually, because they're already trapped. Some of them are a bit trapped. Nice. Then we move back into formation again. Yeah, run away, you coward. This was such a long battle, and it was honestly just such a struggle because our units didn't have the gear they needed to actually deal with cavalry. They only had Imperial short swords, and so they really struggled. But hey, we were able to do it, and we got some gear from it, and we also got paid. Then running around in the valleys and mountains of the Empire, we find 42 mountain bandits, and I get the idea of trying to pit our 80 plus initiates against these 42 mountain bandits to see just how good they are. We took some losses, but it went a lot better than I thought it actually would. And I also after this hunted some small bandit groups, and it got to the point where we could upgrade all of our initiates. And so I started thinking a little bit, and I ended up with going for 20 archers of the Tyro Sagittari, and then upgrading the rest into Probatio, as I feel like that is a good split for melee and ranged. Our gladiators are not really the best ranged either. Our archers aren't really... I just think that in general, our archers are not better than other factions. We might be lacking a lot in the archer department, but I do think that our gladiator melee units will do a little bit better, but also they're not the best armored, so I'm kind of interested to see how this will go in the future. But also realizing we were so close to clan tier 3, I decided to get back on the grind at what we do best, and that's being a gladiator. There's a Murmillo here. And so we start joining a bunch of different tournaments, and here we also go into tournaments where we fight these gladiators that we're gonna recruit. We fight a bunch of Traex and Murmillo. It's really cool to fight them, and they're also really tanky and really scary to fight, but it also gives us a really good look at how well they will probably do in the future. There we go, finally. Guys, how's this fair? How's this fair? Tell me how that was fair. Oh wait, it wasn't. Nice. At this point, we were starting to get really close to actually getting to Clan Tier 3. I had lost some tournaments here and there because sometimes we would go up against them with Milo in the last duel and I would just lose. And so we only just had a few tournaments left to do, and soon, hopefully, we would be there.
Slay them!
If we win this, we get the Clan Tier 3. We have to win. We won. Let's go! This was the last tournament that we had to win, and we had done it. We could have 134 troops now. That's crazy. That is legit crazy. Oh my god. Boom, 135 troops. Oh, this is crazy. Look at that. Our gladiators are rising. My name is Tyr. Let's see. What's your thoughts on politics? Our family has always sent its sons to become generals. It has been a privilege to lead the men of the empire into battle. Without these men, there would be no empire. The great estates of the senators would be blackened ash. The soldiers of the empire don't ask for much in return. They want an emperor who will train them hard, fight them hard, and reward them generously. Let them choose the man to do that. The heavens know I loved Irenicus. I shed my blood for him, but his dream of peace with our neighbors was moonshine. You can have war on the frontiers or war at home. I prefer war on the frontiers. Let the men earn glory, gold, and tales to tell their grandchildren. I have a plan. What if we join the Western Empire? We try to gain as much power as possible, and we overthrow Garrisons. And we let the we're gonna make the gladiators rule. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Pledge allegiance, yada 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 yada. And he believed it. He also wants us to raid 3 villages. He'll give us 15,000 for doing that and 3,000 for every extra village that we raid. We can do that. And so the plan had been formed, and we joined the Western Empire under Garrisons. The bigger plan, the bigger picture is of course that we're going to use Garrisons' arrogance and his multi-front border to gain power for ourselves and then eventually do a coup. We do have big hopes for the gladiators, but I think we can do this. We have the heart and we're brave. And this will be one hell of a journey. But hey, this video sadly ends here. And if you want to see more, then drop a like and maybe subscribe. And I really hope that you enjoyed this part 1. And part 2 is coming very soon. And I see you another time.